a presentation. So in order to support his presentation, he started searching for information related to his topic. This is how he ended up like getting much more than he expected. One of the common problems we face today is availability of information in excess. Sometimes we get overwhelmed with the amount of information available. Now, this person was in a dilemma. He found a huge amount of information, that is fine, but what to select among them, how to select, and how to convey it to the audience. He was stuck in a dilemma. How many of you can visualize yourself in the same situation while working?
Yeah, it happens.
Yes, almost everyone. So now, before going further, shall we change our approach a little? Instead of treating this as a problem, shall we treat this as a challenge? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Now, what is the challenge? Amassing information is easy because there are lots of sources of information, predominantly being Google search. Identifying and classifying relevant information is the tougher part. And what is the toughest part? Is it enough if we know what we are going to speak about? The communication will be achieved only when what we speak is understood by the party intended to. Right? That means communicating it in the right manner. That is the toughest part. So now we are ready to overcome the challenge. We have the will to overcome the challenge. So naturally there is a way. How do we overcome this challenge? By practicing, making our mindset, changing our thought process in such a way that we get to the point. Basically, today, the intention of people asking either for it could be a speech, a technical presentation, or business presentation, or sales, or a social awareness talk, public speaking, anything. It is not to test you for your skill or knowledge. It is understood that you have the required skills and knowledge. It is basically to learn and benefit from you. In today's workplace, fast-paced work environment, time and interdependency are the crucial factor. So more often than not, it is necessary to share the required information within a very short span of time and see to it that others get the message as well. For that, we need to get to the point. Now, is there any formula for this? Some easy way how we can practice getting to the point? The formula is very easy. It is getting to the point is equal to 3P. What are these 3P? Firstly, it is identifying the purpose. Secondly, it is preparation. And thirdly, it is practice. So the first question that comes to our mind is, why do we need to identify our purpose and how? If a speaker is not clear about what is it he or she wants to convey, then what guarantee is there that the audience will understand the same? So firstly, we need to identify the purpose. That can be split into two parts. One is the general purpose and the second one is the specific purpose. By general purpose, what we mean is what is the intention with which we give either a speech or presentation or whatever. There must be some specific intention. So that could be to inform an audience about something. It could be a technical presentation, demonstration, whatever. Examples are lectures, briefings, demonstration, etc. Or it could be to persuade people about your viewpoints. Suppose, let us consider you are a manager in your company. Your team is following some particular workflow, a complicated workflow, and they are quite used to it. They are comfortable doing it. But the industry trend changes, and you along with your team members are expected to embrace the new workflow, whether people like it or not. Now the team is a bit out of the comfort zone. People may hesitate of taking the risk, they may not be willing to change. But you as a manager know that it is very important to make the shift. Now, by persuade, I do not mean forcing people. That is not the intention. By persuade, what I mean is make people think from your point of view so that they are convinced about the same. So this could be a sales presentation, campaign speeches, or it could happen in your own workplace. The next kind of general purpose is inspire people. More often than not, we need to motivate. You need to motivate your team members, your colleagues, in your personal life, in your social life. That motivating people is very common. So that needs to be done. It boosts the morale of the people around you. Then lastly, it is to entertain. This is not like a personal goal. It can be related to your hobby. Maybe you want to be a humorous speaker. You can make the general purpose like I want my speech to be totally humorous, to entertain the audience to the maximum. Apart from all these, it is possible to combine 2 or 3 general purposes. Consider the example of the workflow. You have persuaded people in your team to think from your viewpoint that the workflow change is absolutely necessary. Now, you need to boost the morale of the team, inspire them that they are capable of making the shift. It will work wonder. You will get what you want, and the shift will be much easier than you expect. Or you may have observed great speakers. Even while giving informational speeches, they make it a point to use traces of meaningful humor so that they can connect very well with the audience, and people will also remember what you said. Apart from all these, there is a specific purpose. This is one more type of purpose. This specific purpose is more like a follow-up. You have delivered the speech, people have listened to you. Fine. Now, what is it that you want people to do after listening to the speech? Do you want them to embrace the new workflow? Do you want them to think in a totally different way? Do you want them to inspire other people like you did to them, etc.? So, why is it we need to identify the purpose? The mind, which has no specific purpose, is lost. Being everywhere is being nowhere. Having identified the purpose, the next stage is preparation. Fine. Now I know what the purpose is. You might be thinking, say just a 7-minute speech, just a 30-minute presentation. How long do we have to prepare for it? Do we have to put in too much effort? The answer is yes. First and foremost, before we speak, we need to think. So we need to align our thought process itself to start getting to the point. Think like this. By the end of my speech, I want the audience to be convinced about such and such an ideology which I am going to share with them. Not only that, the audience should benefit from me, what I said, and most importantly, remember what I said. For that, my speech has to be very relevant, informative, and one that drives home the point. Now, will we get this thought process and the skill of getting to the point just like that? No. We have to research a lot about that particular topic. Why is the depth of knowledge required to be more? Because lesser the knowledge, the more we tend to divert from the topic. So while speaking, people will tend to